Greetings to all my dear friends, students, viewers from Pali University and from outside university. Yeah. Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So greetings to all my dear students, friends. Today we have the one webinar that is basically we have to just see in entire soil. We can say like a basic. If you are going to when any construction, you have to identify your soil and you have to give the report. That is the initial ones, right? So for the purpose, we had a plan this webinar, the name Identifications and Classification of Soils, which will be given by our speaker. The name is Dr. Sanjay Kumar Verma. He is Honorary Secretary from Indian Geotechnical Society, Jabalpur chapter. He will deliver to you the basics of our soil, how to identify, and the various perspectives to determine the soil, the classification of the soil, and much more. So, viewers and students, please be there. Now we will start this webinar, and I will hand over this to Sanjay sir. Sanjay sir, are you there? Just wait a second. Just wait, everyone. There's technical issue. Just wait a second.
Okay, sir. Okay, no problem. Hi, Prince. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You can proceed.
Okay, so
Just
I am.
share your PPT, sir.
Okay. Now screen is visible.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Now, is it in a slide mode?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can we proceed for the lecture?
Yes, sir. Proceed.
Okay, so very good afternoon to all of you. I am clearly audible, Apis?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you, Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology, Parul University, all the management, all the principal, and all the faculty members of the university and institution for giving me this opportunity for presenting this lecture today for the student of the civil engineering. So I am Dr. Sanjay Verma, Honorary Secretary from IJS Jabalpur chapter. Would like to present my presentation. The topic of my presentation is soil identification and classification. Okay, so I would just like to pray Ma for the success of this today's webinar. Now, we all know we are facing a very big challenge in India. This is the second wave of COVID-19, and whole India is fighting against the COVID-19. We all know what is Corona. We just suffering from the more than 1 year. What is Corona? How it's happened, and what are the causes for this disease? So we have to just take the precautions for the safety of ourselves and our family members and our country also. So these are some causes for the coronavirus. Yes, we all know. We all know the remedies for this precaution of this coronavirus. We have to just maintain the physical and social distancing for our daily use activities. This is the figure of the last year. When the one person can infected to the more than 400 people, if not we follow the rules and regulations for the COVID. But nowadays, this time the figure will be much more. As we can see, the today's infected people are the more than 3 lakhs. So we can understand the sensitivity of this corona. So just we have to just follow.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello?
Me, sir. Sir, your slide isn't changing. It is still
Okay.
showing the first slide only.
Okay. So I'm just again trying to sharing, sir. As it is moving in my screen. Is it visible, sir?
No, sir, not yet. Not yet. Prince, otherwise you can get sir's presentation to you and put it up from your end.
Now
Yes,
is it
sir.
visible,
Yes,
sir?
yes, it is visible now.
Okay, so this is my last introduction. So we have to just follow all the rules, regulations, all the norms for the save ourselves with the corona. 2021 का जो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो मंत्र दिया हुआ है, हमको दवाई भी और कड़ाई भी का भी पालन करना है, तभी जाके हम अपनी सुरक्षा कर सकते हैं, अपने देश की सुरक्षा करते हैं. तो हमको वी हैव टू जस्ट वियर द मास्क पहनना है, सही तरीके से पहनना है. वी हैव टू जस्ट मेंटेन द 2 गज की दूरी बना के रखना है, physical distancing बना के रखना है, and we have to just wash our hands and mouth, sanitize it, and just keep it to hygiene. So with this preliminary introduction, I would like to move for our presentation. This is the content of my presentation today. Introduction, formation of the soil, types of the soil, identification of the soil, classification of the soil, and the summary. Press screen is visible now.
Yes, sir. It is moving.
Okay, so what is soil? So we can know the term soil has originated from the Latin word solum. Okay, so meaning the upper layer of the earth. In other words, we can simply define the soil as it is the assemblage of the discrete solid particles of the organic and inorganic compositions with the your whites filled with the water only, air only, or the combination of both water and air. And for the engineering purpose, soil is defined as the uncemented aggregate of the mineral grains and decayed organic matters with the liquid and the gases in the empty spaces between the solid particles. But soil is not limited up to these such definitions. We can see जो हमारे देश के किसान, हमारा देश जो है कृषि प्रधान देश है, और जो हमारा देश है जो पूरा अन्न है, उसका पूरे फसल जो ऑल डिपेंड अपॉन द सॉइल. अलग अलग जगह पर अलग अलग प्रकार की सॉइल होती है, और जो हमारे किसान होते हैं वो खुद मेहनत करके, खुद अपने खेत को जोत के या अपने बैलों के द्वारा, अपने मैकेनिकल मीन्स के द्वारा जोत के और उसकी पूरी तैयारी करके जब देखते हैं, तो यदि अच्छी सॉइल, अच्छी मिट्टी वहां पर मृदा होती है तो हमारी फसल अच्छी होती है. बट यदि सॉइल अच्छी नहीं है तो फिर वो यू कैन सी इन द फिगर कि किसान को कैसे रोना पड़ता है और परेशान होना पड़ता है. इसी प्रकार से वी कैन सी द जस्ट अवर स्पीसीज, अवर प्लांट्स, अवर फ्लावर्स प्लांट्स, वी कैन सी जस्ट इन द गार्डन all the, we can see the plants in the your deserts area. तो सभी all these species, plant species depends upon the your soil. हमारे चाहे कोई जली जो हमारी वनस्पतियां हो, चाहे वो किसी लेक में हो, पॉन्ड में हो, रिवर्स में हो या अंडर द सी, कहीं पर भी हो, all the depend upon the soil. If we talk about our potters, तो they are all, they select the soil. अच्छे अच्छे खिलौने बनाते हैं, हमारे जो जरूरत की चीजें होती हैं, पानी पीने के लिए घड़े बनाते हैं, टॉयस बनाते हैं, मूर्तियां बनाते हैं. दे ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन द सॉइल. उनके लिए सॉइल का एक अलग डेफिनेशन होती है, सिलेक्शन उनका एक अलग होता है. यू कैन सी इन द, वी आर द सिविल इंजीनियर्स, वी कैन सी वी आर द मेकर ऑफ द ब्रिक्स, यूजर ऑफ द ब्रिक्स इन द लार्ज एरिया. तो जो हमारी ईट होती है, दे आर द मोस्ट कंज्यूमेबल मटेरियल ऑफ द योर सिविल इंजीनियरिंग. You can see in the some ancient pre-ancient structures, जो पुराने हमारे किले होते हैं, महल होते हैं, मंदिर होते हैं, मस्जिद होती है, उसमें we can use just the different type of the bricks in the so many years back. We are users of the soil in the form of the your residential buildings, silos, chimneys, or other civil engineering structures. We are the civil engineers. We know how the brick forms, how to dig the soil, select the site for the selection of the soil, just mix it, just some epoxies or some other grading materials for making the bricks, just add the water, mold it, just dry it, burn it, and use for the ready for your transportation for the your site. So we are the user of the bricks also. So in these all, we need the soil. As far as the your civil engineering structure is concerned, it may be the your road construction, it may be your retaining wall, it may be your building constructions, or it may be the tallest building of the world, highest bridge of your world. It may be the your dams, it may be your earthen dam, it may be your rock dam, it may be your concrete dam, any type of the dams, or it may be your canal. So we all concerned, civil engineer is concerned with the soil types, soil classifications, and the characteristic of the soil. So for a farmer, the soil which is the suitable for the grow for the various crops, उसको मतलब किसान को सिर्फ उससे मतलब है कि उसकी फसल अच्छे से अच्छी बढ़े, उसको अच्छी फसल मिले. They all concerned with the farmer are concerned with the that point of view. For the gardener, the soil which is the suitable to the grow for the various flower plants. For the potters, the soil which is the suitable to make various earthen pots, idols, and other clay materials. For the brick manufacturer, the soil which is suitable to make the good quality bricks. And for the civil engineers, the soil which is suitable to make the foundation safe, stable, and economical civil engineering structures. Okay, so what is the need of the soil identification and classification? Question is here. So we know that the geotechnical investigations are like your CT scans or your MRI test before an engineering treatments, and the investigations of the underground conditions of the site is an essential prerequisite for the economy in the design and construction of the your foundation for the civil engineering structures. Okay, so the stability of the structure is depend upon the soil foundation systems. All factors that may act on the structure during the lifetime should be considered for design. In general, the foundation design always include the effect of the dead load plus the live loads on the structure. But it is not enough. Other miscellaneous forces that may have to be considered or the action of the winds, waters, heat and earthquake, etc. Along with this, the stability of the soil structure depends upon your stability of the supporting soils. So mainly two important factors that are to be considered for the foundations are, first is the foundation must be stable against shear failure of the supporting soil. And second one is the foundation must be settled beyond your permissible limit to avoid the damages of your structures. So the role of the structural engineer and a geotechnical engineer is equally important for making a foundation safe, stable, and economical. This is the key point. So the characteristic of the soil at the place of the foundation provide a base for the selection of the foundation type. And for this, we have to know the types of the soil, classification of the soil. So in this presentation, we will be discussing various methods for identification and classification of the soils, which will be helpful to the understand the physical properties of the soil, and this will definitely be beneficial for the student of the civil engineering. We will move to the second point, how the formation of the soil and type of the soil. We will discuss very briefly this point. Formation of the soil and the types of the soil. The soil is formed due to the weathering of the natural rocks. Weathering is the process of breaking down of the rocks, the physical and mechanical or by the chemical processes into the small pieces. The leads to disintegration of the bigger masses to the smaller and smaller particle. We know the types of the rocks are the igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, and the sedimentary rocks. And the types of the soils, the effect of the weathering and the transportation mainly determine the basic nature of the soil, its size, shape, composition, and distribution of the soil. So the soil as they found in different regions can be classified into the two broad categories. One is your transported soil, that is due to the transportation by the wind, water, glacier, or the gravity. And the other is the residual soil, that will be maybe the black cotton soil or the lateritic soil. Okay, so origin of the soil, all the soils originate directly or indirectly from the different type of the rocks. Soil may be considered as an incidental material obtained from your geological cycle, which goes on continuously in nature. The geological cycle consists of your erosion, transportation, deposition, and upheaval. You can see in this figure, that's why the rocks can disintegrate, erode, and it can transported and it can be deposited at a lower area. Now, there are some physical and mechanical weathering methods. The processes are the frost actions, thermal effects, abrasion, spreading of your roots and plants, and the chemical weatherings are under the carbonation, hydration, oxidation, hydroxyls, and the solution. We will not discuss in detail these topics because we have to just come to your key points for the civil engineering student point of view. So, identification of the soil. So identification of the soils are generally divided on the basis broadly in the two types. One is your coarse grained soil and another is your fine grained soils. So coarse grained soils are the soils with the particles are greater than your 75 micron or 0.075 mm. And the particles are smaller than 75 micron, it will be your fine grained. So we can divide the soil in two types. One is your coarse grained soil and another is your fine grained soil. So further, coarse grained soils are divided into your gravels and the sands, and fine grained soils are divided into the silts and the clay. Gravels are the size of the particles larger than your 4.75 mm. Sand occurs between the particles are between your 4.75 up to your 75, means more than 75 micron and up to your 4.75 mm. Silts are the size particles of the size below your 75 micron and up to your 2 micron, and clay is your finest particle, finest type of the soil that runs below your 2 microns. You can see in this figure also. Some methods of the identification of the soils, some basic methods. So sites for the various civil engineering structures like your buildings, bridges, dams, canals, roadway, railways, airways, etc. are the first chosen on the basis of the preliminary examination of the soil. There are certain field tests that are carried out the identity various constituents of the soil mixtures. Indian standards soil classification systems recommended the following test of the soils for the field identifications. These are the visual inspection, dry strength test, latency test, and Kapner test. So if we talk about your visual test, so you can see generally with your eyes, only the particles of the coarse particles are the seen, coarse grain soils can be seen by the naked eyes. Particles of the silt and the clay are not visible to your naked eyes. Visual examination can be done by taking a representative samples on the soil or spread on it on your flat surface on your palm of the hand, and you can just see it as per your size, angularity, touches, and the grading of the soil. For the fine grained soils, dry strength, dilatancy, and toughness tests are carried out on your fractions passes through your 425 micron sieve. Second one is your dry strength. So the resistance to breaking is called your dry strength of the soil. The strength of the soil in the dry state is an indication of its cohesion and hence of its nature. It can be estimated by your crushing of your 3 mm size of your dried fragments between the thumb and the forefinger. The sample is prepared by the completely drying in the sun or by air drying. So the clay soil particles fragments can be broken only with a great efforts. This will be your clay, and whereas silt particles or silt fragments can crush easily. So this is your very simple test you can perform in the field also. Third one is your dilatancy test. So this test is also known as your shaking test. It helps to distinguish the silt from the clay. This is in between your silt and the clay. Silt is more permeable than clay. In this test, part of the soil is mixed with your water to very soft consistency and is placed on your palm of the hand. The soil pet is shaken by your tapping back of your hand. If the soil is in silt water, will rise quickly to the surface and will give it in the shiny shape, shines and glistering appearance. So in case of the clay, the appearance of your surface of the pet does not change during the shaking test. An estimate of your relative properties of the soil and clay can be assessed with this dilatancy test. One more is your field test is your toughness test. The pet used for the dilatancy test is dried by your working and the remolding until it has to be consistency of your putty. The time required to dry the pet depends on your plasticity of the soil. If a sample of the moist soil can be manipulated between the palm and the hand, just like your plastic limit test, and the fingers and rolled into the long threads of about the 3 mm diameter, just we perform the similar test in your plastic limit test. So the soil then contains a significant amount of the clay, whereas silt can not be rolled into the thread of the 3 mm. So if there is silt particles in the soil, this 3 mm thread will be crumble. And if there is sufficient quantity of your clay, then it will not crumble. Okay, so this is your toughness test. Now we will go to your classification of the soil. This is the basic content of our today's presentation. So there are many classification of the soil as per your particle size. Natural soils are mixture of your soil particle size. Number of classification have been evolved but commonly used. These are some classifications we can study. The civil engineering students can study. One is your US Bureau of the Soil Classification. Another is your International Classification. Third one is your MIT classification. Another one is we are more concerned with this IS classification, Indian Standard Classification. And one more is your textural classification. So we will not go very deep in all these. We will just discuss about your IS classification. These are your range of your grain size in your US Bureau Soil Classification. You can just see in this sketch figure also. This is your range of your various type of the grains in your international classification. These are your MIT classification, and this is the IS classification. We will discuss in detail later on. And this is one of your very popular classification of the soil. That is your textural classification. We can just classify the soil, clay, sand, and the silt with this help of this textural classification. Okay, so am I audible, please, clearly?
Yes, sir.
Please, am I okay? So we will just use these 3 IS methods for the further proceedings. So we will use the grain size analysis. We will discuss about the grain size analysis, and one more, that is your plastic limit. And these 2 tests are sufficient for the classification of the soil. And we will classify the soil as per the IS code 1498 So this under these three codes we will discuss the further presentation. So before the moving, we will have to just know the some symbols and the some notations for the this soil classifications. This is the your lowest. You can see the at the bottom. This is the clay. So if the soil is below the 2 micron or 0.002 mm, this will be your clay. And from 2 micron to 75 micron, this will comes under the category of your silt. Okay, so but finest is your clay, and this is your clay, silt. And after the above the your 75 micron, there are the three classification of the your sand from 75 mm to up to the your 4.75 mm. There are three categories of the fine sands and two categories of the your above the 4.75 mm up to the your 80 mm. There are two classification of the your coarse grain soil or gravel. And above that, above the your gravel, we can find the your cobbles up to the 80 to 300 mm. And above the 300 mm, that is called the your boulders. So there are three categories of the your fine sands. Above the 75 micron and the your 425 micron, this will be your fine sand. Above the 425 micron and up to the 2 mm, this will be your medium sand. And above the 2 mm and up to the your 4.75 mm, this is the range of your gravels top. So this will be your coarse sand. So there are three categories of the your fine sand, medium sand, and coarse sand. And there are two categories of your gravels. Above the 4.75 mm and up to the 20 mm, this will be your fine gravels. And above the 20 mm up to the your 80 mm, this will be your coarse gravel. So these are the basic classification of the soil as per your IS classification. These are some symbols and notations we will use in the your further presentation. So we will use the G for the gravels, S for the your sand, M for your silt, C for clay, O for your organic soils, and PT for your peat. And we will use the some suffix also in the further presentation. W is we will use for the your well graded soil, P will use for the poorly graded soil, M for silt, and C for your clay. Now we will further use this notation also. GW means well graded gravels, GP means poorly graded soil gravels, GM means we will read the letter we will use first. So this will be your silty gravel, just like your poorly graded gravels, well graded gravel. So we use the first second letter in first and first letter after that. So this will be your clay gravel. Similarly, in the these are the notation for your gravel groups, and these are the notation for your sandy groups. So similarly, this is the your well graded sand, poorly graded sand, silty sand, and this is your clay sand. Okay. Now these are some more classification of the soil as per the Indian standards. We will use the ML, MI, and MH for your M is silt and L for the your low, medium, and high. So ML will be we will use for the your silt with the your low compressibility or plasticity, silt with the your medium plasticity. We will use the MI, and the MH we will use for the your high plasticity or compressibility. And similarly, C we use for the clay. So this will be your low plasticity clay, medium plasticity clay, intermediate plasticity clay, and this will be your high plasticity clay. Similarly, PT and O. So first we will discuss about the your this grain size analysis. This is very important practical. This is the lab practicals we can use for the classification of the your grainy or coarse grain soil, generally coarse grain soil. So this is the, you can see in this figure, this is the there is a IS 2720 part 4 for the analysis of this grain size analysis. So these are the apparatus, some apparatus we can use. We can use the various sieves. We can use some sieve shakers. Also, we can use some riffle and the box for the split out for the separation of the various type of the your grading of your soil, balance brushes for the cleaning of the your sieves, and the mechanical shakers. You can see this type of the arrangements we can perform when we perform the your sieve analysis. We can see this is the sieve and this is the sieve shaker. This is your weighing balance, and these are the brushes for cleaning of your. These are the arrangement how to arrange the seeps with the. So on the top, we generally use your 4.75 seep. That is the level of your classification of your gravelly soil. So above the 4.75 that will be your gravelly soil. If the soil written on the 4.75 seep, that will be your gravel soil. And this is the order from the top to bottom: 2 1 600 micron, 420. So the main thing is the bottommost seep will be your 75 micron, and topmost seep will be your 4.75 micron seep. Okay, so these are the some weight. Percentage of the weight, or the weight given for the various categories for the size. We have to choose the various weight for the performing of this test. So the test procedure for the sieve analysis: first of all, weigh the dry soil sample, which should be at least 500 grams. We can take the 1000 gram also. Record the weight of the sieve and the pan that will be utilized during the soil. Each sieve should be thoroughly cleaned before use it. Assemble the sieve ascending order, placing those with the larger opening at the top, as I told. And the 4.75 sieve will be at the top, and 75 micron sieve will be at the bottom. So place the soil samples into the top of the sieve and place it, and cover it with the cap or lid, and place the the arrangement in the shape shaker, and we will just shake it for your 10 minutes. And finally, we remove the sieves stacks for your shakers and measure the weight of your each sieves that will be, and the soil will be written on the each sieves. Okay, so you can see this way we can found this type of your sieves. This is your grains written on your 4.75 sieve, and this will be your passing through your finest part that will be passed through your 75 micron. So you can just find such type of your grains in the different sieves. So this is the table for your further calculations and further determination or the categorization of your soil. So we will use this serial number 1, that is, we will second will be your sieve, diameter of the sieves. Third column will be your weight of the sieve, weight of your sieve, empty sieves. And 4 will be after the shaking, after the retaining of your sieves. This will be your weight of your sieve with your soil sample. And this will be your percentage of your net weight of your soil. So you can just deduct the column number from column number 4 to the column number 3. This will, you can get your soil retained in the particular sieve. This will be percentage. You can divide the total weight. We have taken you can say the 1000 grams. So this will be the percentage of your soil in this sieve or in this sieve, and this will be your cumulative percentage. So you have to just add. You can just add 8.1 to 9.1. You will get the 18, and you will add the 18 to 9.6. So you will get the 7. So this is the cumulative percentage. You can get like this, and this is your percentage finder. If you deduct this column values from the 100, you will get the percentage finder. Okay. Now, this is a very important. We will draw the graph as per this analysis. We will draw this graph between your grain size and the percentage finder. We will use this grain size, this column number 2, and we will use the percentage finder. And we will draw a graph in the semi-log scale. On the x-axis, this will be your grain size, and on y-axis, this will be your percentage finder. So you can just find the various type of the graphs. So this is one of the graph as per this calculation. So for the moving further, we will have to just discuss. We have to just know the idea about the grading of the curve. So a grade size distribution curve is your analysis for we will have to just find out the value of D10, D30, and the D60. Okay. So the curve is the graph plotted between the percentage finder on the y-axis and the particle size on the x-axis on the logarithmic or semi-logarithmic scale. So this is your CU is your coefficient of uniformity, and CC is your coefficient of the curvature. We have to just need for the making of or just classify the soil with the grain size analysis. So the uniformity coefficient CU is expressed the variety in a particle size of the soil is defined as your ratio of the D60. So CU is the ratio of the D60 over D10. And CU is you can use this formula, D30 square upon the D30 into D60 into D10. So these are the two important parameters we need for the classification of the soils. Now we will come to the your this flow chart for the classification of this grain or the coarse gravel or the your gravel or the sand. So this is say this is your soil sample. So one thing you have to keep in mind, if the soil if the 50% of the soil pass through the 75 micron sieve, then it will be your fine grained soil. One thing. And if more than 50% of the soil particles is retained on the 75 micron sieve, this will be your coarse grained soil. So first up, we have to categorize the soil is coarse grained soil or soil is your fine grained soil. Okay. So if soil is a coarse grained soil, so we have to just run your sieve analysis. But if the soil is fine grained soil, we have just to run your liquid limit and the plastic limit performances. Okay. Further, if the more than 50% of the soil is retained on the 4-point topmost sieve, just listen me again. More than 50% of the soil is retained on the 4.75 mm sieve, then it will be your gravel. We are talking about this coarse gravel categories. Okay. More than 50% of the soil is retained on the 4.75 mm grain sieve, then it will be your gravel. And if it is more than 50% of the soil sample pass through the 4.75 mm sieve, it will come in the category of your sand. Is it clear to all of you? And if the soil 50%, more than 50% of the soil is passed through your 75 micron sieve, we will perform the liquid limit and plastic limit. We will discuss later on. Now, come to the gravel and classification of your gravel and the sand. How we classify the gravels and how we classify the sand. Okay, so there are so many symbols we have just seen in the GP, GW, GM, GC, etc. Okay, so in what categories our gravel fractions are coming, we have to just study that. So we have to just check this. Suppose this is our coarse grained soil and gravelly soil. So we have just checked if the more than 5% of the soil is passing through the 75 micron sieve, one condition. 5 to 12% of your soil passing through 75 micron sieve, and third one is more than 12% soil particles, soil fractions passing through the 75 micron sieve. You have to just see these three categories also along with your gravel soil. Okay, so if soil is less than your 5% particle passing through the 75 micron sieve, so it will be in your two types. It may be your well-graded soil or it may be your poorly graded soil. We will discuss later on. And if this is more than 12% fractions passing through the 75 micron sieve, it will come under this category. There may be possibility of the soil may be gravelly, silty gravel, or it may be combination of your clay gravel to your silty gravel, or it may be clay gravel. So there will be possibility of the three categorization of your gravelly soil. If the soil more than 12% soil passes through your 75 micron sieve. So this is the similar chart further elaborated. So if the gravel, there are three conditions as we have discussed: less than 5%, 5 to 12%, and 12%. So this will be in your gravelly or the well-graded soil or poorly graded soil. This come in these four categories. And if the soil is more than 12%, it will come in these three categories. Similarly, sand. If the more than 50% of the soil is passing through the 4.75 mm sieve, then it will come in the category of the sand. But the condition is, we have to just check first 75 micron sieve. If 50%, if the more than 50% soil passes through the 75 micron sieve, that will be your fine grained soil. That will not come in the category of your sand and the gravel. So condition is that your more than 50% of the soil passes through your 4.75 micron sieve. If retained on the 4.75 micron sieve, it will be your gravel. And if passes 50%, more than 50% of the soil passes through the 4.75 micron sieve, so 4.75 mm sieve, then it will be your sandy soil. So we have to perform the similar process that we have discussed in your classification of the gravelly soil. We have just to check is it the less than 5% if the soil is passing through the 75 micron sieve. 5 to 12% and your 12%. We will perform the similar process in the sandy also. Okay, so now we will again just see this analysis. In this case, we have just to find the 8.5%. We are retaining the amount of the soil is written on the 4.75%, 75 mmC is only 8.1%, and amount passes through the 7.5 micron sieve only 3.3. So kindly see it carefully. So this is also not more than 50%, and this is also not more than 50%. If this figure is more than 50%, then it will be fine grain soil, and it may be your silty or clay soil. And here, if the figure is more than 50%, then it will be your gravelly soil. So both the conditions are not fulfilling here. So the category of the soil will be your sand. More than 50% of the soil is passing through the 4.75 mmC. So this will be your sand category. So we will just determine your percentage of the finer in this last column, and we will just calculate. We will just draw your graph also. We will just find out the D10 and D30 and D60 coefficient of uniformity and the coefficient of curvature. So in this case, we have found the coefficient of your uniformity is 4.6564 and coefficient of the curvature is 0.9. So there is a condition in the sandy soil. If your CU, if CU is more than 6, if the value of the CU is more than 6 and your value of CC is in between the 1, 2, 3, so it will be your well-graded sand or gravel. For the gravel, we use this figure 4, and for the sand, we use this figure as 6. So if it is more than 6, value of Cu is more than 6, it will be your, similar, both the conditions will be fulfilled. If Cu is more than 6 and Cc is in between your 1, 2, 3, it will be your well-graded sand. Okay, but both the conditions are not fulfilling. So this will be your poorly graded soil. Okay, so summary is in this case, the percentage of the soil passing through the 0.75 or 75 micron sieve is only 3.3%, less than 50%. Hence, the soil is the coarse grain soil. Okay, further, percentage of the soil retained on the 4.75 micron sieve is only 8.5%, less than 50%. So overall mass our fractions will be in the category of your sand. So it may be your SW or SP. So as per your CC and SU, we have determined both the conditions are not fulfilling. If conditions fulfill these two conditions, this may be your well-graded sand, but conditions are not fulfilling here. So this will be your poorly graded soil. Okay, so this is your graph. You can see in the poorly graded soil, sand or gravel, we can see this graph vertically. So you can see just this type of your grain is much more in this. Poorly means some specific type of your percentage of the grains are in more percentage in your soil mass. Okay, so this is one of the. So there are so many type of the graph also. We can see if this is a graph. You can find the graph, you can just achieve the graph like this. This is a very flat graph. This is like this graph. We can just generally determine the 3 types of the graph. If the graph is totally vertical or nearly vertical, this will be your poorly graded soil, just like your previous case. And if your graph is just like means very flat, or this type of the graph have the all type of the soils in your very good percentage. Okay, so this will be your well-graded graph, well-graded soil. And if there is a horizontal flow in the graph, you can see the horizontal movements in the graph, then it will be your gap graded. It means there is this type of the soil percentage is not available in your soil mass. So this is known as your gap graded. So we can classify the soil in the poorly graded soil, well-graded soil, or the well-graded soil, gap graded soil. Okay. Now we will move to the, I think time is, what is the time remaining? Please, I think 10 to 15 minutes we have.
Yes, sir. 15 minutes. to
Okay,
minutes.
so now we will move for the your second very important test, that is your liquid limit and the plastic limit test we can use for the classification of the soil. So you can see the various apparatus we use for the this is known as the your Cassegrain apparatus. The geotechnist Cassegrain has generated this apparatus. So these are the some supporting apparatus, your grooving tools, evaporating dishes we can use for the your determination of the moisture contents, your water container, your weighing balance, etc. Okay, so this is the apparatus for your liquid limit determination, and these are the apparatus for your plastic limit ablation determination. We can use the glass plate for performing this test. Okay, so we will move for the first test procedure for the your liquid limit determination. So we both the test we will perform by the soil passing through the 425 micron sieve. Okay, so place a paste of the your prepared sample by passing through the your 425 micron sieve in the cup and add the your water in a sufficient quantity and mix it well, and then we will spread it in the your cup of the your this apparatus. This is the cup we will place in this place. Okay, so from the group in the you have seen the various groups. Also there are two types of the groups also we use in this test. So from the group in the soil by the your grooving tools from the your top of the your cup to the bottom of the cup, when forming the group, hold the tip of the group tools against the your surface of the cup and keep the tools perpendicular to the your surface of the cup. Third point is the lift the your drop of the cup. We will just rotate it. We just rotate this apparatus with the handle by the mechanically or by electrically. So lift and drop the cup at the your rate of the 2 drops per second. We will use in this rate and continue the cracking until the 2 hops of the when we make the groove in between the soil, there will be a line, but we have to just drop up and down the your handle for until the your groove meets 2 hops must meet at the distance of the your 12.5 or half inches, and record the number of the this is very important. We have to just record the number of the rotations or number of the your strokes. So just record the number of the drops required to the your close the your grooves when the soil touches up to the your groove touches to the your 12.5 mm. Then we will just note down the your number of rotations of the your handles or the number of the your drops. Okay, take the slice of the your soil sample and determine the your moisture content. Moisture content, you know very well the similar process for determination of the soil moisture content, and repeat this process 1 to 5 times for the 3 to at least your 4 to 5 times. Okay, so when we perform, this is the your empty cup of the your Cassegrain apparatus. We will fill the soil in this and we will make a groove just like this, and we will have to just on rotation we will have to just check the your this groove will be touched about the your 12.5 mm length, and we will stop here for the rotation of your cup. Okay, so these are the 2 types of the tools. We will use this Cassegrain tools for the your clay soils, and we will use this ASTM tools for the your sandy type of the soil. I think you understood the your this liquid limit. And second one is your plastic limit. So this is very simple process. From the your we can take about 20 grams of the sample passing through the your 425 micron sieves, and we will just mix the water, distilled water in it thoroughly, and roll the test specimen between the your palm and the finger on the your ground glass plate to form a thread of the your uniform diameter. We will just roll it by the your using the your palms on the your glass. So continue rolling on the threads until it reaches a uniform diameter of the 3 meter. When the thread becomes a diameter of the 3 mm, if it is not crumble, then we will again just reform it. We will again re-roll it and we will again form a thread. So let the your soil for the your few minutes and reduce it the water content slightly. We will if we will roll it again, then we will just reduce the your water content in the soil mass also. So repeat this process step number 2 to your 5 again until the thread crumble. This point is very important. thread should be crumble when it is reaches to the uniform diameter up to the 3 mm. So when the soil reaches to the point where it will crumble, and when the thread is uniform diameter of the 3 meter, it is the plastic limit stage. Okay, so determine the water content of such crumble your soil sample. Okay, so note repeat the procedure 3 or 4 times to compute an average plastic limit of the. We will perform for the 3 to 4. This is the your you can see in this figure also. We will just roll this soil sample. When it crumble, then it will. We will stop here and we will determine the moisture content of this. Okay, now so these are the tables for the your determination of liquid limit and the plastic limit. We will use this format of the table. A number of below in the first column, mass of the your soil container, weight of the container plus the your wet soil. This is the your determination of your moisture content, similar as the moisture content determination. Only additional column is this number of blows for joining that group at the 12.5 mm length. Similarly, the we will use the plastic limit determination of the moisture content for the plastic limit also. So we will just draw liquid limit test is not complete here. We will just draw a graph in between the your number of blows and the moisture content. Okay, so on number of blows on the your x-axis and moisture content will be on the your y-axis. So we will just draw for the various number of blows. We will for the various moisture content and the number of blows. We will select these points and we will just join all these points 3 to 4, at least 4 points. Okay, and we will draw a vertical line from the 25 number of blows 25. So on the semi-log scale, if it is here, so you will just draw a vertical line here, and when it touch on the your this straight line, we will just go horizontally. So in this case, if we draw a vertical line from the 25 point, we will just get the, and we will move horizontally, we will get the 61. So this will be 60%, 61% moisture. This will be your liquid limit. So what is liquid limit? Liquid limit is the moisture content at the 25 number of blows. Okay, so this is the determination of the liquid limit here complete. And the moisture content of the your plastic limit we have also determined. Now one very important term we determine with the help of these two, liquid limit and plastic limit, that is the your plasticity index. So we will have to determine the, we will just deduct the liquid limit, plastic limit from the liquid limit. We will get the just value of the plasticity index. So this factor, this parameter is very important for determination for classification of your clay soil or the fine grain soil. So we will use this chart, that is on your chart. We will use this chart, plasticity chart. You can see in the your IS code 1498. So on x-axis, this is your liquid limit and this is your plasticity limit. So here is the use of your plasticity index. Okay. So this is your A line. We will discuss just after. So this is your A line. So above A line, these are the your clay type of the soil, and below the your A line, this will be your silty type of the soil. So we will use this liquid limit and plastic limit for the your classification of the clay and the your silty soil. So before that finalize the classification, we will just go for the your just this flow diagram for the determination of the your silt and the clay. So if we perform the your this test, so for the your clay and the silt, we will just determine the your liquid limit and the plasticity index. So before below A line or hedge zone, see its colored order. Limit of your hedge zone, this you can see this is your hedge zone. This show the your dual combination of the your CL and the silt, and this is the your zone of your silt and the your clay. So we can use if somewhere here plasticity index values come somewhere here, and the soil will be classified as in this category. Okay, so this is your flow diagram for the determination of this classification. So for the fine grain soil, we can classify the soil in the silt and the clay. We will perform this liquid limit and plastic limit test. So if the soil is below the your 35%, 35, this will be your low plasticity clay or silt. If it is between the 35 to 50, this will be your intermediate plasticity silt or clay. And if it is more than your 50%, plasticity index is more than 50%, it will be your high plasticity clay. Or so you can see in this figure now, if values come somewhere here, so this will be your low plasticity clay. If value comes here, this will be your intermediate plasticity clay. This will be, so above the A line, this will be clay part, and below the your this A line, this will be your silt part. Up to the 35% liquid limit, the value will be your low plasticity, and 35 to 50, the value will be intermediate or moderate plasticity, and above the 50%, this will be your high plasticity clay. So these are the clay and the low, medium, and the high. And below the A line, this will be your silt of the your low plasticity, silt of your medium plasticity, and silt of your high plasticity. If the value comes somewhere here, this will be your dual combination will be used for the classification of the soil. Nowadays, some more advanced has decided the range of your very severe or extremely plasticity clay above the your 90% plastic liquid limit value. Okay, so these are the very important liquid limit and plastic limit. So further, finally, we can by these two tests, performing these two tests, grain size analysis and your liquid limit and the plastic limit test, we can just classify the soil in the your first coarse grain soil and the fine grain soil and the silt and the clay. So these are the, again I am sharing this slide. If the soil is the below the your 2 micron, it will be your clay. One more thing that is very one more very important test we will use for the classification of the silt and the clay. For the bifurcation of the silt and clay, we will perform the hydrometer or pipette test. That is very you can see the time taking laboratory test. Okay, so below the 2 mm soil will be your clay. Above the 2 micron and up to the 75 micron, it will be your silt, and above the 75 micron to the 4.75 micron, there are 3 categories of the soil. Fine grain soil up to the 425 micron, 425 to 2 mm, this will be your medium sand, and 2 mm to 4.75 mm, this will be your coarse grain soil sand. And above the 4.75 mm to the 20 mm, this will be your gravel, and above the 22 to 80 mm, this will be your coarse gravel. Okay. So we have just discussed all these symbols and representations. Also, well graded, poorly graded, silty gravel or the clay gravel, etc. We have also discussed this as per the plasticity. So one more important thing we can just assess with the performing these two tests. Very, very important. Preliminary, we can assess the your physical properties of the soil. They are very important for the various further study of the your soil, like your porosity, your permeability, or shear strength, or your bearing capacity. All these things depend upon the this classification of the soils. So one more important data parameters we can determine with these tests, that is your classification as per your plasticity index. So we can assess your plasticity of the soil by using the determination of your plasticity index. Okay, so if the plasticity index range between the below the your 0, so this will be your non-plastic soil, like just like your sandy soil or silty sand soil. If it ranks from below the your 7, it will be low plasticity. Obviously, it will be silt. And if it comes between the 7 to 17, it will be your medium plastic soil. And if it is above the 75, the value of the plasticity index, PI, liquid limit minus plastic limit. So the value of the plasticity index is found more than 17, then it will be high plasticity clay. Okay, so this parameter we can also find with this help of this. One more very, very important parameter we can determine with the help of this. If we determine the in this range of the your liquid limit and the plasticity index, we can just categorize the soil as per the degree of expansion. Okay, so we can categorize the soil in 4 types. It may be low, medium, high, or the very high. If the value of the your liquid limit and plasticity index range from this. Okay, so if the liquid limit value is range between the 20 to 35 and the plasticity index value is 12, then it will come in the category of the your degree of expansion will be your low. and the value of your liquid limit is between the 35 to 50, and the value of your plasticity index is 12 to 23. This will be your medium. And similarly, between the 50 to 70 liquid limit and 23 to 32 plasticity index, it will be your high degree of expansion will be high, and very high degree of expansion will be occur in the case of your, if the liquid limit is more highly clayey soil, black cotton soil. So this will be, if it is comes in this range 70 to 90, and plasticity index is also more than 32, then it will come in this category. Okay, so we can determine these two parameters additional byproduct with performing these two tests. So I think we have just classified. So there are basically there are the four basic soils: clay, silt, and the sand and the gravels. So these two tests, grain size analysis and the liquid limit and plastic limit test, are very, very important, or compulsorily are important for the classification of the your soils in these four categories as per the your Indian standard. Okay, so we have just used these four codes. 2720. There are a very long series of the your 2720. There are 41 codes for determination of the various properties of the soils, compaction, other things. And one more important is the swelling index is also, we can determine the very simple test. We can just classify the soil as per the swelling index properties. It is clay or silt or the gravelly. Okay, so these three codes we have used in this presentation. These are the some parameters we can perform in our laboratories. Students can understood better. So liquid limit apparatus, or this is the your swelling index text, free swelling index. Okay, so you can see the various apparatus in this laboratory test. Okay, so finally, stay home and stay safe, and fight against the corona, and save India and ourselves. Okay, so thank you very much.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Here we had learned a lot of things from your presentations over there, because it is very necessary to learn about these technical things, as well as you had shared about this in pandemic situations. There are some of the points we have to measure first, so that you had already shared. So that is very interesting points, and that you had covered in our presentations. So it will much like better that like this presentation is very basic things, and this all the students from the fourth sem students are very grateful to have you such kind of this knowledge and this kind of things of webinar. So on the behalf of all these students, I would like to thank you, sir, for delivering this great knowledge towards our students and our viewers. So that's all. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, dear Prince. I think I have completed that presentation within the time limit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Perfect.
Thank you very much.
On
Thank you all.
exact time, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Yeah. So thank you so much, sir, for your gratitude towards our university, and we will grateful because you are honorary president, secretary over there in Geotechnical Society, Jabalpur.
Yeah,
So it is a great pleasure to have you, sir, as this kind of various webinars we had conducted over here. And we would like to say that many more events you will come over here in our university and deliver your knowledge
definitely
to our students and our faculties as well as.
Definitely, anytime. It's my pleasure.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank
now
you.
we are just concluding this webinar.
Okay.
And okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prince, and thank you all of you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Okay, students, those who are present over here, you can leave this class. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.